Did you know Microsoft only allows for subscriptions with Skype now? Microsoft owns Skype. They even stopped offering the ability to create a local number. They quietly made these changes because I didn't see it in tech news, so it's effectively quietly for me. And I didn't even know this happened until I logged in last week to try and make a call to the UK. I liked using the pay-as-you-go method. Just give Microsoft or Skype £5 and then just use it until it's expired and then pay another £5. But that method is gone. You probably, like me, when living abroad or visiting abroad, only need to contact your bank or government or members of the family now and again, so it makes sense just to use pay-as-you-go. For me especially, it's only going to be a few times a year at minimum. So faced with only monthly pricing, Microsoft expect me to pay £5 a month every month instead of just paying £5 a year. You can't blame them, can you? From their point of view, they're there to make money, but it's still ridiculous. But from my side of the computer screen, I can't even find a way to max out £5 a month, even if I wanted to. Anyway, thanks Microsoft. That was the final piece of software that I used from you, because I knew there would be somebody else out there who could offer me what I originally had. The problem was, I didn't really trust many websites out there because I didn't know any of the personal recommendations that I would normally get, or even from established websites. And also, Viber, who I have used in the past, like a decade ago, they're also subscription priced. I mean, why? At least on the App Store, the Apple App Store on iOS, I could look for alternatives in a way that gave me confidence. Because obviously if I'm going to start paying for things online through a new company that I'm not aware of, I'm always going to be at risk of some kind of fraud. Because I'll tell you what, now and again with Microsoft, when I had set it up as an auto payment, people took my account and Microsoft were like, well, you should be more considerate with your security. Like, bitch, my password is secure. I'm not a dribbling moron. Well, I am when I'm sleeping. But when it comes to online security, I know what I'm doing. So they just wash their hands of it. And I was getting charged, getting random calls with my account, although the account wasn't taken over. It's just that they were using my credit to make calls to Syria and to Uzbekistan or Timbuktu or wherever Wakanda is. So I'm speaking from experience when I say I don't want to get scammed again. All of that is to say, today I'm talking about an app called Pingo. I've never heard of Pingo until last week. Grok says they've been around since 2004, but looking at their website, I couldn't see that mentioned. The copyright tab on the App Store listing goes back to 2018. Skype, for comparison, has been around since 2003 and Viber 2010. So I'm personally a little bit surprised I haven't heard of Pingo. Anyway, enough of casting doubts. There were some other apps I found, but they weren't worth mentioning as they operate in the same way as Skype does, as in, give us a subscription. Pingo has given me exactly what I wanted from Skype, and this video is here to testify that it is a legit app. So you can use this app as a guarantee, a review, informal review. I'm not being sponsored by them. I'm just a normal person who's used it twice so far for 2 important calls back to the UK. The makers of Pingo don't even know I'm making this video. You guys are first. So it is on the App Store, as I said, and it is on the Google Play Store. I did do my diligence to accommodate Android users, so it does exist for you guys as well. It has no in-app purchases, so what you have to do is register on the website, create an account with them directly, and then pay through or with a card or through PayPal, which makes sense because they don't want to pay the fees associated with being on those respective app stores, and I can get behind that because it makes it cheaper for me and you, doesn't it? When I did pay, I did feel some hesitation during the setup process, and this is more to do with the fact that I'm not used to using unfamiliar third-party apps I have no knowledge about with regards to their reputation. Now, the app is pretty basic. My first call failed after I paid. Luckily, I just quit the app and restarted. It turned out it was just a bug. I don't need to bore you with the breakdown of the costs. I just wanted pay-as-you-go, and the call rates are cheap enough that I know £5 will last me long enough. I just get what I had with Skype. The app is simple to use. The UI reminds me of the flatness of iOS 7, and maybe it hasn't been updated since then, but I don't care, it works. And also, what fancy things do I need besides a keyboard, a keypad, and a stable internet connection? It's there to make calls, and that's what it did. Now, you can create some speed dials. There is a call history, which tapping the I gives you the cost per minute in case you forget. You can import your contacts and send SMS messages. Besides the pay-as-you-go model, Pingo also does offer subscription pricing. It's so simple. Why don't the rest of them do it? They even have a 67p a month sub alongside a £5 subscription to grant you a few extra benefits. The per minute rate with Pingo is higher, but it's necessary to remember they offer a variety of payment options, because if you know how much you will spend, you shouldn't be forced into buying a plan you don't need. And by default, as a personal preference, I hate subscriptions. I think that's obvious by now. And I just avoid them where I can. The two calls I made, one was to a bank and the other was to contact the Inland Revenue Department back in the UK, or as you Americans would say, the assholes at IRS. Signal was fine and the call was stable. The bank call lasted 24 minutes and the government call lasted 50 minutes. As of this video, I've made a total of 74 minutes worth of calls and the balance is at £2.95. In summary, Pingo gets the job done, even if you have to use a website just to top up. But it is understandable because, as I said earlier, Apple needs their 30% from everyone for everything, and Pingo, it seems like a smaller company who probably can't operate with that much taken from each transaction. If I want to make a conclusion, there isn't much else to it. I wanted something functional and inside my budget. So if you need to move away from Skype's more inflexible pricing options, and even though it offers fewer features, Pingo now I'm talking about, I still think you should consider it. I'm happy. I'm happy that I found this app. It gives me exactly what I want without much hassle.